Chapter 1: The Rise of the American Empire. In the aftermath of the American Revolution, as the dust settled and the newfound United States of America emerged victorious, the dream of a democratic republic seemed within reach. The people celebrated their hard-fought independence and the promise of a brighter future. However, fate had other plans for this young nation. Amidst the euphoria, there arose a powerful faction led by influential figures who advocated for a strong central government and centralized authority. These visionaries argued that only a united and powerful nation could secure the liberties they fought so hard to achieve. Their rallying cry resonated with a population longing for stability and security in a world full of uncertainties. In this alternate reality, rather than forming a federal republic, the Founding Fathers drafted a constitution that vested immense power in a single executive, the Emperor. Modeled after historical empires, this newly formed government system aimed to harness the strengths of centralized rule while maintaining a degree of representation through regional administrators. The Emperor, elected for life, established an imperial court composed of the most distinguished minds in governance, military strategy, and law. This elite group became the primary advisors and decision-makers, guiding the emperor's policies and actions. They played a crucial role in shaping the empire's destiny. With the newfound power and centralization, the American Empire embarked on a bold path of territorial expansion. Inspired by the imperial ambitions of ancient Rome, the empire sought to establish dominance across the North American continent and beyond. Military campaigns were launched, and vast territories were acquired through diplomacy, annexation, and conquest. As the empire expanded, a rigid social hierarchy began to take shape. Citizens were categorized based on their loyalty, wealth, and contributions to the empire. The emperor's courtiers and military elite occupied the upper echelons, followed by regional administrators and wealthy landowners. The majority of the population lived in varying degrees of servitude, laboring to fuel the empire's growth. While democracy was not the driving force behind the empire, the founders' vision of individual liberty and self-determination still lingered. The Imperial Code, a set of laws enacted by the emperor, enshrined certain rights for citizens, such as freedom of speech and assembly. However, these liberties were often curtailed to maintain the empire's stability and centralized control. Not everyone embraced the empire's transformation willingly. Dissent brewed among those who longed for the ideals of the American Revolution and a more representative government. Underground movements and secret societies emerged, advocating for a return to democratic rule and the dismantling of the empire. These rebels, known as the Sons and Daughters of Liberty, fought covered battles against the oppressive regime. To secure its dominance, the American Empire invested heavily in its naval fleet. Inspired by the British Royal Navy, the American Imperial Navy became a formidable force, projecting the empire's influence across the seas. Naval bases dotted the coastlines, and merchant vessels became extensions of the empire's economic and military might. As the empire expanded, it absorbed diverse cultures and traditions from conquered territories. In this alternate reality, the empire adopted a policy of cultural assimilation rather than the melting pot concept. The imperial court encouraged the preservation of local customs while promoting a sense of imperial identity. This rich tapestry of cultures contributed to the empire's unique heritage. Through the passage of time, the American Empire stood as a powerful force on the world stage. Its reach extended beyond the continent, influencing global affairs and shaping the course of history. While the empire departed from the democratic ideals of its origins, it left an indelible mark on civilization, forever altering the trajectory of humanity. In this alternate history, the United States transformed into a centralized empire, departing from the democratic path it initially set upon. The story explores the consequences of this transformation, highlighting the challenges, conflicts, and triumphs that defined the empire's rise. Chapter 2 title, Shadows of Dissent. Decades have passed since the American Empire's establishment, and its power and influence have reached their zenith. The emperor, now a revered figurehead, continues to reign with an iron fist. Dissent, however, simmers beneath the surface, as a new generation yearns for the democratic ideals that birthed the nation. Within the heart of the empire, a secret organization known as the Democracy Reclamation Movement, DRM, takes shape. Composed of passionate intellectuals, former rebels, and disillusioned citizens, the DRM seeks to dismantle the imperial system and restore democracy. Their clandestine activities span from covert gatherings to underground publications. The emperor, aging and aware of the growing discontent, contemplates his successor. He desires a leader who can maintain the empire's dominance while placating the rumblings of rebellion. His choice falls upon his eldest child, a reluctant heir who questions the very foundations of the empire. The young prince, torn between duty and personal conviction, embarks on a journey that will test his loyalty and shape his destiny. The DRM gains momentum, finding allies among influential courtiers and military officers disenchanted with the empire's authoritarian rule. The rebels strike subtly, engaging in acts of civil disobedience, sowing seeds of dissent, and infiltrating key institutions. The empire's control begins to crumble as pockets of resistance form across the nation. As discontent continues to brew, the American empire finds itself in a state of unease. The centralized rule and concentration of power have created disparities among the populace, with a growing divide between the privileged few and the majority struggling to make ends meet. Though rebellion may not be on the immediate horizon, tension permeates the air, and the empire's leadership is faced with the challenge of maintaining stability. Recognizing the need to address the grievances of the people, the emperor and his courtiers initiate a series of reforms aimed at appeasing the masses. The imperial administration introduces measures to improve living conditions, expand access to education, and promote economic growth. However, not all are convinced of the sincerity of these reforms, and pockets of resistance emerge from those who perceive them as mere gestures to maintain control. Amidst the backdrop of social and political change, a cultural renaissance sweeps through the empire. Artists, writers, and thinkers seize the opportunity to express their ideas and challenge the status quo through their work. The imperial court becomes a patron of the arts, fostering an environment that encourages intellectual exploration and creative expression. This cultural revival sparks new conversations and contributes to the shifting landscape of the empire. Beyond its borders, the American empire engages in diplomatic endeavors to solidify its influence on the global stage. It forms alliances, establishes trade routes, and expands its colonial holdings. The empire's military prowess acts as a deterrent against potential adversaries, while its economic might secures favorable agreements and lucrative partnerships. These diplomatic efforts shape the empire's position as a dominant force in international affairs. As the empire evolves, individuals and groups continue to champion the values of personal liberty and democratic governance. While overt rebellion may not be the prevailing theme, the struggle for freedom manifests through peaceful protests, intellectual debates, and social movements. Visionaries emerge, advocating for a more inclusive and egalitarian society, where the rights and aspirations of all citizens are valued. The passage of time brings about unforeseen shifts in power dynamics. The younger generation, born and raised under the imperial system, questions its legitimacy and calls for a more participatory form of governance. A new breed of leaders, sympathetic to the concerns of the people, emerges within the imperial court, pushing for incremental reforms and a more responsive administration. The American empire finds itself at a crossroads. The choices made by its leaders will determine whether it continues down the path of centralized rule or embraces a more democratic future. The echoes of the past revolution and the yearning for individual freedoms persist, driving conversations and shaping the empire's destiny. As the empire grapples with its identity, the story of the American empire continues to unfold, with the potential for transformation and renewal. Chapter 3 title: The Empire's Legacy. The American empire stands firm, having weathered the storms of discontent and internal challenges. The centralized rule and concentration of power have become deeply entrenched, ensuring stability and maintaining the empire's dominance. The emperor, now a revered figure, presides over a vast imperial court that exercises control with meticulous efficiency. With the empire's foundations solidified, attention turns to further expansion. The American empire stretches its influence across continents, acquiring new territories and establishing colonies in strategic locations. The Imperial Navy, unmatched in its strength, safeguards trade routes and protects the empire's interests abroad. The empire's borders extend far beyond what the founders of the Republic had ever envisioned. Under the empire's centralized rule, economic growth thrives. A system of imperial trade and taxation ensures the flow of wealth into the empire's coffers. Industrialization and technological advancements transform the nation into an economic powerhouse. Vast infrastructure projects, funded by the empire, connect cities and facilitate commerce, further cementing its dominance on the world stage. The empire's social hierarchy solidifies, with the emperor and the imperial courtiers residing at the pinnacle of power. Wealth and influence concentrate in the hands of a privileged elite, while the majority of the population toils in service of the empire's ambitions. Strata of administrators, military officers, and bureaucrats ensure the efficient functioning of the empire, each level responsible for upholding the imperial order. As the empire expands, it assimilates diverse cultures and traditions from its colonies and conquered territories. These influences blend with the imperial identity, creating a unique amalgamation of customs, arts, and ideas. The imperial court becomes a patron of the arts, promoting works that reflect the glory and grandeur of the empire. The empire's cultural dominance radiates across its territories, inspiring awe and admiration. While the empire enjoys relative stability, challenges and dissent linger beneath the surface. Some individuals yearn for the democratic ideals of the past, longing for a system that values individual freedoms and representative governance. However, these voices of opposition remain marginalized, as the empire's mechanisms of control suppress any overt rebellion, maintaining the status quo. The American empire leaves an indelible mark on the international stage. Its diplomatic prowess, coupled with its military might, ensures its influence in shaping global affairs. The empire becomes a force for stability in a world rife with conflicts. Its colonies benefit from the empire's infrastructure development and the economic opportunities it brings, while also adapting to the imperial system of governance. As generations pass, a deep sense of loyalty and pride in the empire's achievements permeates the collective consciousness. The empire's citizens, indoctrinated with a narrative of grandeur and manifest destiny, wholeheartedly embrace the imperial system. They believe that the empire's centralized rule provides security, stability, and unparalleled opportunities for progress. The aging emperor grapples with the question of succession. The mantle of leadership weighs heavy on the heir, who has been groomed to maintain the empire's strength and preserve its legacy. The imperial court, filled with ambitious courtiers vying for power, becomes a cauldron of intrigue and political maneuvering. The choice of the next emperor will shape the empire's future. As the story unfolds, the American empire continues its unyielding reign. Its centralized rule and imperial ambitions drive its progress, even as whispers of discontent persist. The empire's legacy, marked by expansion, prosperity, and cultural dominance, remains firmly imprinted on the annals of history. The empire's destiny, unaltered by the yearning for democracy, steers a course toward an enduring imperial era. Chapter 4 title, Echoes of Liberty. The American Empire, once unassailable in its power, now faces a different reality. Internal divisions, economic hardships, and growing discontent have eroded the foundations of its centralized rule. The imperial court struggles to maintain control as regional administrators assert their autonomy, and calls for a return to democratic governance grow louder. Amidst the empire's decline, regional administrators seize the opportunity to assert their independence and advocate for a decentralized system of governance. States and territories, once governed by imperial edicts, begin to establish their own legislative bodies, crafting laws that reflect the unique needs and aspirations of their populations. The empire fragments into a collection of semi-autonomous regions. Despite the challenges it faces, the American empire stands resilient, weathering the storms that threaten its stability. The imperial court, led by a succession of strong and visionary emperors, navigates through turbulent times with skill and determination. Efforts to address the concerns of the populace are made, ensuring the empire's continued dominance. Recognizing the need to adapt to a changing world, the empire becomes a hub of innovation and progress. The emperor encourages scientific research, technological advancements, and economic diversification. The empire's industries flourish, driving economic growth and solidifying its position as a global powerhouse. Advanced infrastructure projects reshape the nation, connecting cities and enabling efficient transport and communication. The American empire's cultural scene blossoms under the patronage of the imperial court. Artists, writers, and musicians produce works that celebrate the empire's grandeur and ideals. The empire's diverse population, influenced by a rich tapestry of cultures, contributes to a vibrant and inclusive society. Imperial academies and institutions of higher learning become centers of intellectual pursuit and artistic expression. The American empire's territorial expansion continues, albeit with a focus on strategic acquisitions and diplomatic alliances. The empire establishes a network of colonies and protectorates, extending its influence across the globe. Overseas trade and commerce flourish, enriching the empire's coffers and forging connections with other powerful nations. The Imperial Navy, a symbol of the empire's might, safeguards trade routes and protects its interests. Society within the empire reflects the strength and stability of its centralized rule. The imperial court and its courtiers hold positions of power and privilege, guiding the empire's governance and policies. The middle class, comprising skilled professionals and entrepreneurs, enjoys relative prosperity and social mobility. While disparities persist, the empire implements social welfare programs and initiatives to alleviate the plight of the less fortunate. The American empire emerges as a key player on the global stage, engaging in diplomacy and international cooperation. Its military strength acts as a deterrent, ensuring the security of its territories and interests. Through diplomacy and strategic alliances, the empire influences world affairs, forging mutually beneficial relationships with other nations. Its leadership in global initiatives solidifies its position as a respected global power. The aging emperor contemplates the succession and the future of the empire. The heir, groomed for leadership, faces the weight of the empire's legacy. With the guidance of the imperial court, the young prince or princess embraces their role and dedicates themselves to upholding the empire's values and securing its continued prosperity. As the story unfolds, the American empire demonstrates its enduring resilience. Adaptability, innovation, and diplomacy enable it to weather challenges and maintain its position as a dominant force. While not without its flaws, the empire's centralized rule provides stability and prosperity for its citizens. The echoes of the past revolution may linger, but the empire's path remains steadfast, driving it toward a future shaped by its imperial ambitions. Chapter 5 Title: The Empire Ascendant. The American Empire, firmly rooted in its centralized rule, enters an era of unprecedented prosperity. Under the wise and visionary leadership of the emperor and the imperial court, the empire experiences an economic boom, technological advancement, and social stability. The empire's citizens enjoy a high standard of living, and its industries flourish, solidifying its position as a global powerhouse. Driven by a relentless pursuit of progress, the American empire becomes a beacon of technological innovation. Scientific research and development thrive under the patronage of the imperial court. Groundbreaking discoveries in medicine, engineering, and space exploration propel the empire to the forefront of scientific achievement. Technological marvels reshape the empire's landscape, improving infrastructure, communication, and quality of life. While the empire maintains a centralized form of governance, it recognizes the importance of regional autonomy and diversity. The Imperial Union is strengthened through a system that balances central authority with regional representation. Each territory has a degree of self-governance, with local administrators overseeing regional affairs. This harmonious coexistence fosters a sense of unity while respecting the unique characteristics of each region. The empire's cultural scene experiences a renaissance, with artists, writers, and musicians flourishing under imperial patronage. The diverse population contributes to a rich tapestry of customs, traditions, and artistic expressions. The empire becomes a cultural melting pot, celebrating its heritage while embracing new ideas and influences from around the world. The imperial court becomes a center of artistic excellence, fostering creativity and intellectual discourse. The American empire solidifies its global dominance, expanding its influence across continents. Through strategic alliances, trade agreements, and diplomatic finesse, the empire forges a network of international partnerships. The Imperial Navy, equipped with state-of-the-art vessels, ensures the empire's maritime supremacy and protects its interests abroad. The empire's economic prowess and technological advancements make it an indispensable player on the world stage. Recognizing the importance of sustainability, the empire leads the way in environmental stewardship. The imperial court implements policies and initiatives to mitigate climate change, promote renewable energy, and preserve natural resources. The empire becomes a global advocate for environmental conservation, inspiring other nations to follow suit. Through responsible practices, the empire balances economic growth with the preservation of the planet. As the aging emperor contemplates succession, the heir steps forward with a bold vision for the empire's future. Embracing the principles of their predecessors, the heir seeks to further strengthen the empire's institutions, foster inclusive governance, and empower the citizens. The imperial court rallies behind the heir's vision, ensuring a seamless transition of power and a continuity of the empire's remarkable achievements. The American empire's legacy endures, leaving an indelible mark on the pages of history. Its centralized rule, while different from the initial democratic ideals, has proven to be a source of stability, prosperity, and progress. The empire's technological advancements, cultural contributions, and global influence have shaped the world in profound ways. The story of the empire serves as a testament to the enduring power of visionary leadership and the potential for greatness within a centralized system. As the empire marches forward, it continues to defy the odds, thriving in an ever-changing world. Its strength lies in its ability to adapt, innovate, and foster unity amidst diversity. The empire's unwavering determination ensures its continued ascendance, leaving an indomitable legacy for future generations. Chapter 6 Title: Shadows of Hubris. The American Empire, once a shining example of centralized rule, begins to show signs of hubris. Emboldened by its past successes, the empire becomes increasingly reckless in its pursuit of power and dominance. The imperial court, intoxicated by its own grandeur, grows complacent, ignoring the warning signs that lie ahead. As the empire's hunger for expansion persists, economic imbalances begin to emerge. The empire's relentless pursuit of resources and territories strains its own economy and exhausts its workforce. The gap between the privileged elite and the working class widens, leading to social unrest and resentment. The empire's once thriving industries start to falter, unable to sustain the empire's insatiable appetite. With growing disillusionment, dissent, and resistance simmer within the empire. Grassroots movements, once marginalized, gain momentum as citizens demand accountability and democratic reforms. The empire's centralized rule faces mounting opposition, as people yearn for a system that values their voices and addresses their grievances. The imperial court struggles to suppress these movements, fearing that they may unravel the empire's control. As the empire's overreach becomes more apparent, internal strife plagues the imperial court. Factionalism and power struggles tear at the fabric of centralized governance. Competing courtiers and administrators vie for influence and control, exacerbating the empire's instability. The emperor's authority weakens as the court fractures, leaving the empire vulnerable to external pressures. The empire's aggressive pursuit of power invites international backlash. Former allies and rival nations alike grow wary of its ambitions and methods. Diplomatic relations strain, economic alliances fracture, and the empire finds itself isolated on the global stage. The empire's imperial navy, once a symbol of strength, becomes stretched thin, unable to maintain control over its vast territories. The empire's insatiable quest for resources and expansion takes a toll on the environment. Irresponsible industrial practices and deforestation cause ecological devastation. Natural disasters become more frequent and severe, further exacerbating the empire's challenges. The empire's neglect of environmental stewardship tarnishes its image and undermines its claims of prosperity and progress. As the empire's flaws become impossible to ignore, its decline accelerates. Economic turmoil, social unrest, and international isolation cripple its foundations. The imperial court, once revered, loses its legitimacy in the eyes of the people. The empire's centralized rule, once hailed as a source of stability, now reveals its inherent vulnerabilities. Amidst the empire's unraveling, a glimmer of hope emerges. Reformist movements gain traction, offering alternatives to the failing centralized rule. A new generation of leaders, deeply rooted in the values of democracy and inclusivity, emerges to guide the empire through its darkest hour. The transition to a more representative form of governance becomes inevitable as the empire must confront its own mistakes and chart a new path forward. As the empire grapples with the consequences of its hubris, valuable lessons are learned. The story becomes a cautionary tale, reminding future generations of the perils of unchecked power and the importance of humility. The empire's rise and fall serve as a reminder that even the mightiest can stumble, and that true strength lies in embracing the collective wisdom and aspirations of the people. In the wake of its own undoing, the empire stands at a crossroads. It has the opportunity to rebuild itself on the foundations of accountability, democracy, and inclusivity. The path to redemption lies in recognizing its mistakes, making amends, and fostering a society that values the principles of justice, equality, and respect for all. The empire's journey toward renewal becomes a testament to the resilience of a nation and the enduring spirit of its people. Chapter 7 Title: The Empire's Last Stand. In the face of mounting challenges and growing dissent, the American empire doubles down on its centralized power. Convinced that only through unyielding control can stability and progress be ensured, the imperial court tightens its grip on governance, stifling opposition and dissenting voices. The empire's leaders become increasingly disconnected from the concerns and aspirations of the people they govern. To maintain its authority, the empire unleashes a wave of suppression and surveillance. Dissenters and activists are targeted, their movements monitored and quelled through forceful measures. The empire establishes a vast surveillance network, infringing upon personal liberties and eroding the fundamental principles of privacy. The state propaganda machine works tirelessly to manipulate public opinion and maintain a facade of unity. The empire's centralized control extends to the economy, as it consolidates power over key industries and resources. State-controlled enterprises dominate sectors such as energy, telecommunications, and finance, stifling competition and innovation. The empire's leaders manipulate economic policies to favor the elite, exacerbating wealth disparities and leaving the majority of the population struggling to make ends meet. Driven by an insatiable thirst for power, the empire rampages across the globe, relentlessly expanding its influence through military might and coercive diplomacy. Territories and nations are subjugated under the empire's hegemony, erasing their cultural identities and subsuming them into the centralized rule. The empire's imperial navy becomes an instrument of control, enforcing its dominance in far-flung corners of the world. Externally, the empire presents an image of stability and order. However, beneath the surface, cracks begin to appear. Discontent festers among the marginalized and oppressed, giving rise to underground movements and resistance cells. As the empire clings to its centralized power, it inadvertently fosters a growing undercurrent of resistance that threatens to undermine its authority. The empire's relentless pursuit of power and control takes a devastating toll on the environment. Natural resources are plundered without regard for ecological consequences. Pollution ravages the empire's landscapes, poisoning its air, water, and soil. The effects of climate change intensify, leading to widespread ecological disasters that impact not only the empire but the entire planet. As the empire faces internal and external challenges, the aging emperor grapples with his legacy and the fate of the empire. Aware of the discontent and growing resistance, the emperor must decide whether to cling to the failing centralized power or to initiate reforms that address the grievances of the people. The emperor's decision will shape the empire's destiny. Despite its desperate efforts, the empire's centralized rule proves unsustainable. Internal divisions deepen, and the empire's resources become strained. The economy falters, and social unrest reaches a boiling point. International alliances fracture, isolating the empire on the global stage. The empire's decline becomes inevitable, as its foundation of centralized power crumbles under the weight of its own excesses. Amidst the empire's decline, winds of change sweep across the nation. The mounting challenges and discontent force the imperial court to confront the reality of their centralized power. Recognizing the need for reform, the court initiates a series of measures aimed at addressing the grievances of the people. These reforms include greater representation, transparency, and accountability within the empire's institutions. The call for reform echoes throughout the empire, as citizens rally for a more inclusive and participatory form of governance. Grassroots movements and intellectual circles become incubators for ideas, pushing for constitutional revisions that strike a balance between centralized authority and regional autonomy. The imperial court engages in dialogue with the reformists, recognizing the necessity of adapting to a changing world. The empire undergoes a profound transformation, ushering in a new era of governance. The centralized power, while still intact, becomes more responsive to the needs and aspirations of the people. Greater emphasis is placed on local governance, with regional administrators playing a more active role in decision-making. The empire embraces the principles of democracy, ensuring that the voice of the citizens is heard and valued. As the empire embraces reform, efforts are made to rebuild trust with the citizens. Transparency becomes a cornerstone of governance, with mechanisms put in place to hold officials accountable. Social and economic disparities are addressed through targeted policies aimed at uplifting the marginalized and ensuring equal opportunities for all. The empire seeks to rebuild a sense of unity and common purpose among its diverse population. The empire, revitalized by reform, experiences a resurgence in its influence and stability. Economic growth is revitalized through innovation, entrepreneurship, and fair competition. Social programs ensure the well-being of the citizens, providing access to quality education, healthcare, and social safety nets. The empire's commitment to environmental sustainability sets an example for the world, as it takes proactive measures to address climate change and preserve natural resources. The empire, now recognized for its democratic reforms and inclusive governance, assumes a prominent role on the global stage. Its diplomatic efforts focus on fostering cooperation, peace, and stability. The empire becomes a trusted partner in international alliances, working collaboratively to address global challenges and promote shared prosperity. Its influence expands, not through coercion, but through the power of ideas and values. The empire's journey of transformation serves as a valuable lesson for future generations. It reminds them of the importance of self-reflection, adaptability, and the need to listen to the voices of the people. The story of the empire's evolution becomes a testament to the resilience of a nation, showing that centralized power can be tempered by the wisdom and will of its leaders and citizens. As the empire embraces reform, it charts a new course guided by democratic principles and a commitment to the well-being of its people. The story shifts from one of decline and fall to one of renewal and hope. The empire's future lies in the hands of its citizens, who have the power to shape a brighter, more inclusive future. Chapter 8 title: The Empire's Renewal. In the wake of the empire's transformation, a spirit of reform permeates throughout the nation. The centralized power, while still a core aspect of governance, undergoes further modifications to ensure a balance of authority and representation. The imperial court, cognizant of the lessons learned, works collaboratively with the citizens to refine the institutions and processes of the empire. The reforms empower the citizens, fostering a culture of active participation and civic engagement. The empire invests in educational programs to promote civic literacy and critical thinking, ensuring that its citizens possess the knowledge and skills necessary to contribute to the nation's development. Local governance structures flourish, enabling communities to have a direct say in decision-making processes. The empire experiences an economic renaissance as it embraces innovation, entrepreneurship, and fair market practices. The empire's leaders foster an environment that encourages creativity and economic diversification. Small and medium-sized enterprises thrive, providing employment opportunities and driving regional development. The empire's industries become known for their sustainability practices and responsible resource management. With a renewed commitment to environmental stewardship, the empire becomes a global leader in sustainability. The empire invests in renewable energy infrastructure, reduces carbon emissions, and protects its natural resources. Environmental awareness and conservation programs become integral to the empire's educational curriculum, instilling a sense of responsibility and reverence for the planet in future generations. The empire places a strong emphasis on inclusive prosperity, ensuring that economic benefits are equitably distributed. Social welfare programs are expanded to provide a safety net for the vulnerable and disadvantaged. The empire invests in healthcare, education, and affordable housing, recognizing that the well-being of its citizens is essential for the nation's long-term success. The empire's cultural landscape experiences a renaissance, celebrating diversity and fostering cultural exchange. Artists, writers, and performers flourish, exploring new forms of expression that reflect the empire's values of inclusivity and unity. The imperial court supports cultural initiatives, recognizing the vital role of the arts in fostering social cohesion and identity. The empire's reformation earns the respect and admiration of the international community. It becomes a trusted partner in global diplomacy, advocating for peace, human rights, and environmental sustainability. The empire engages in cooperative efforts with other nations, sharing expertise and resources to address pressing global challenges. Its diplomatic approach is characterized by dialogue, mutual respect, and collaboration. The empire's renewal serves as a model for other nations, showcasing the potential for transformative change within centralized governance structures. Its story inspires hope and demonstrates the power of adapting and evolving to meet the needs of a changing world. The empire's legacy lies in its ability to harness the strength of centralized power while embracing the ideals of democracy, sustainability, and social progress. As the story unfolds, the empire recognizes that renewal is an ongoing process. It remains vigilant, open to the constructive criticisms and diverse perspectives of its citizens. The imperial court continues to adapt and refine its governance structures, fostering an environment of constant dialogue and collaboration. The empire's journey toward a brighter future is one that will require dedication, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to the principles that define its renewal. The story of the empire's renewal is a testament to the transformative power of leadership, citizen participation, and the capacity for centralized governance to evolve and adapt to the needs of its people. The empire's continued journey offers hope for a future where progress and prosperity coexist with principles of democracy, sustainability, and social justice. Chapter 9 Title: Shadows of Autocracy. A new emperor ascends to the throne, driven by a desire to consolidate power and return the empire to a bygone era of absolute authority. Dismissing the reforms and progress made in recent years, the emperor seeks to wield complete control, shattering the delicate balance between centralized rule and citizen empowerment. The imperial court, once a forum for dialogue and progress, becomes a vehicle for the emperor's autocratic ambitions. As the new emperor consolidates power, the checks and balances that once safeguarded against tyranny begin to crumble. Independent institutions are dismantled, and the judiciary becomes a mere extension of the emperor's will. Dissenting voices are silenced, and the imperial court transforms into a breeding ground for sycophancy and loyalty rather than wise counsel and accountability. The new emperor's regime employs ruthless tactics to suppress opposition and dissent. Dissidents are targeted, their voices stifled through intimidation, surveillance, and imprisonment. The empire's citizens live in a state of constant fear, forced to conform to the emperor's dictates or risk severe repercussions. The imperial propaganda machine perpetuates a cult of personality, painting the emperor as a figure beyond reproach. Under the new emperor's rule, economic disparities widen as wealth becomes concentrated in the hands of the ruling elite. Cronyism and corruption thrive, with loyalists and family members of the emperor benefiting from preferential treatment and lucrative business opportunities. The empire's resources are exploited for personal gain, leading to economic stagnation and the marginalization of the majority. The empire's cultural scene suffers under the new emperor's regime. Artists, writers, and intellectuals face censorship and persecution if their work challenges the narrative of the autocratic rule. Freedom of expression is curtailed, stifling creativity and intellectual discourse. The empire's rich cultural heritage is diminished, replaced by a state-sanctioned propaganda that promotes conformity and glorifies the emperor's reign. The empire's turn towards autocracy isolates it from the global community. Diplomatic ties deteriorate, and economic sanctions are imposed as nations condemn the erosion of democratic values and human rights. The empire's once influential voice becomes muffled as it is relegated to the fringes of international discourse. The new emperor's isolationist policies exacerbate economic hardships and further isolate the empire from global progress. Despite the oppressive regime, pockets of resistance persist throughout the empire. Underground movements and dissident networks quietly organize, driven by a deep conviction to protect the values of democracy, civil liberties, and human rights. These courageous individuals work in secrecy, sharing information and coordinating acts of civil disobedience, all while evading the watchful eye of the autocratic regime. As the autocratic regime tightens its grip, the resistance movements face increasingly daunting challenges. The regime's security apparatus grows more ruthless, employing surveillance, arrests, and violent crackdowns to quash dissent. The resistance fighters find themselves in a constant cat-and-mouse game, navigating treacherous paths and relying on their resilience, resourcefulness, and unwavering commitment to the cause. The resistance fighters pay a heavy price for their defiance. Many are imprisoned, tortured, or forced into hiding, their families torn apart by the cruelty of the autocratic regime. Yet, their spirit remains unbroken. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, they draw strength from the belief that their struggle is not in vain, and that their sacrifices will pave the way for a brighter future. While the resistance movements face setbacks, a flicker of hope remains alive in the hearts of the empire's citizens. The autocratic regime's iron grip begins to create disillusionment and discontent among some segments of society. Whispers of dissent grow louder, and cracks emerge within the imperial court itself as some courtiers question the excesses of the emperor's rule. Realizing the challenge posed by the resilient resistance, the autocratic regime intensifies its efforts to stamp out any flickers of dissent. Propaganda campaigns are launched to discredit the resistance movements, and loyalist informants are dispatched to infiltrate their ranks. The empire becomes a surveillance state, breeding an atmosphere of fear and distrust. The resistance fighters find solace in the enduring spirit of those who refuse to submit to the autocratic regime. They draw inspiration from the stories of historical struggles and the knowledge that change often takes time and perseverance. Their determination remains unyielding as they continue to organize, mobilize, and disseminate information, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. The empire stands at a critical juncture, torn between the oppressive autocratic regime and the persistent resistance movements. The citizenry watches anxiously, waiting to see which path will prevail. The imperial court finds itself divided, with some courtiers questioning the emperor's tactics and others fiercely loyal to the autocratic rule. The empire's future hangs in the balance. As the story unfolds, the struggle between the autocratic regime and the resistance movements shows no sign of abating. The resistance fighters draw strength from the support they receive, both within the empire and from sympathetic international allies. They adapt their strategies, finding new ways to organize and communicate, staying one step ahead of the regime's attempts to suppress their movement. While victory remains uncertain, hope persists in the hearts of the resistance fighters and the citizens who yearn for a return to democratic governance. They find solace in the knowledge that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, the power of resilience, unity, and the unwavering pursuit of justice can eventually overcome the darkest forces. Their struggle becomes a beacon of hope for a future where the empire's true potential can be realized once again. Chapter 10 Title: Resurgence of Order. In the wake of the rebellion, the American Empire launches a relentless campaign to quell the uprising and re-establish its control. The imperial forces, driven by a desire to reassert their authority, employ a combination of military might, strategic maneuvers, and political manipulation. The rebellion finds itself facing the full force of the empire's wrath. As the empire regains control, it tightens its grip on the rebellious territories. Martial law is imposed, dissent is crushed, and rebel leaders are apprehended or forced into hiding. The empire's propaganda machine works tirelessly to vilify the rebellion, painting it as a threat to stability and progress. The rebellious regions are subjected to harsh measures to re-establish imperial dominance. With rebellion quelled, the empire turns its attention to rebuilding the shattered territories. Reconstruction efforts are launched, aiming to restore infrastructure, provide basic services, and facilitate economic recovery. The empire seeks to pacify the populace by offering limited autonomy and appeasing gestures of reconciliation, while maintaining a firm grip on power. The empire implements a comprehensive surveillance and monitoring system to prevent any resurgence of rebellion. Citizens are subject to heightened scrutiny, with informants and loyalists rewarded for reporting any signs of dissent. Civil liberties are curtailed, and freedom of expression is suppressed in the name of maintaining order and preventing the re-emergence of rebellion. While the rebellion may have been quelled, the cost of submission becomes evident. The rebellious territories endure economic exploitation, as the empire seeks to recoup its losses and consolidate its power. The once vibrant spirit of independence and self-governance gives way to a sense of resignation and subjugation. Many rebels who survived the conflict find themselves torn between acceptance and a lingering desire for freedom. The empire takes advantage of the quelled rebellion to further consolidate its rule. The imperial court extends its influence, appointing loyal administrators to govern the once rebellious territories. Centralized control is reinforced, with the empire placing its own trusted officials in key positions to ensure obedience and loyalty. The rebellion becomes a distant memory as the empire works to erase any lingering traces of defiance. To solidify its authority, the empire engages in a process of social re-engineering. Education systems are revamped to instill loyalty to the empire, erasing any traces of the rebellion's ideals. Cultural practices and identities are suppressed or assimilated into the empire's dominant culture. The rebellious regions are gradually transformed into homogenized extensions of the empire, eroding their unique heritage. As time passes, the empire's grip tightens further, leaving little room for dissent or aspirations of self-governance. The rebellion becomes a distant memory, a cautionary tale whispered among a few brave souls. The empire's dominance is unquestioned, and its centralized rule is firmly entrenched. The rebellion's ideals of liberty and democracy are overshadowed by the empire's narrative of stability and progress. While the empire may have quelled the rebellion, pockets of resistance persist. Underground networks and secret societies keep the flame of defiance alive, passing down the stories and ideals of the rebellion to future generations. These pockets of resistance await the opportune moment to challenge the empire's iron grip and reclaim the spirit of freedom. As the story reaches its climax, the future of the empire hangs in the balance. The resistance movements carefully strategize, knowing that their battle is not one that can be fought with traditional means. They rally the disillusioned and oppressed, planting the seeds of discontent and awakening a yearning for freedom. The empire, now faced with a renewed challenge, must confront the consequences of its actions and the resilience of the human spirit. In this sequel, the rebellion may have been quelled, but the story highlights the lingering impact of oppression and the potential for resistance to emerge even in the face of overwhelming odds. It underscores the complexity of power dynamics and the lasting effects of centralized rule on the aspirations of a people yearning for freedom. Chapter 11 title, Shadows of Deception. In an attempt to regain the trust of its people, the American Empire launches an extensive military campaign. The imperial court, driven by a desire to manipulate public opinion, orchestrates a sophisticated propaganda machinery. Media outlets, controlled by the empire, disseminate false narratives about a fabricated enemy, distorting facts and manipulating emotions to rally support for the military endeavor. The empire portrays the fabricated enemy as a grave threat to national security and the empire's values. Through fearmongering and sensationalism, the empire convinces its citizens that they are under imminent danger. The enemy is demonized, painted as an existential threat that must be eradicated to ensure the empire's survival. The empire's people, swayed by the manipulation, rally behind the imperial court's call for military action. The Empire's propaganda machine works tirelessly to manufacture consent for the military campaign. Dissenting voices and critical analysis are stifled, as the Empire controls the narrative through censorship and media manipulation. Those who question the motives behind the military endeavor are labeled as traitors or unpatriotic, further silencing opposition and fostering an atmosphere of blind support for the Empire's cause. The Empire stages false victories and exaggerates military successes to maintain the illusion of progress. The media glorifies the Empire's military prowess, showcasing carefully curated footage that portrays the imperial forces as heroic defenders of freedom. The Empire's people, deceived by the false narrative, become further entrenched in their belief that the military campaign is justified and necessary. As the military campaign gains momentum, civil liberties within the Empire suffer. The imperial court exploits the fabricated enemy threat to justify draconian measures that curtail individual freedoms. Surveillance is intensified, dissent is criminalized, and critics of the Empire's actions face persecution. The Empire's people, caught in the web of deception, find themselves sacrificing their liberties in the name of security. Chapter 12 Title: The Empire's Conquest. The American Empire, emboldened by its military might and ambitions for global dominance, sets its sights on the British Isles. Utilizing its superior naval power and advanced weaponry, the Empire launches a calculated campaign to subjugate the British and establish control over their lands. The British, caught off guard, find themselves facing an unprecedented threat from across the Atlantic. The Empire's forces sweep across the British Isles, overwhelming the British military with their advanced tactics and firepower. Major cities fall under Imperial control, as resistance from the British is met with swift and decisive suppression. The Empire's propaganda machine portrays the invasion as a necessary step towards consolidating power and spreading its version of order and progress. Recognizing the value of exploiting existing divisions within the British population, the Empire capitalizes on historical tensions and regional differences. It strategically supports factions that align with its interests, further fracturing British society and weakening any unified resistance. The Empire aims to maintain control by exploiting these divisions and preventing a cohesive opposition from forming. With the conquest nearly complete, the Empire imposes its rule over the British Isles. The Empire's administrators replace British officials in key positions of power, ensuring loyalty and compliance to imperial directives. The British people are subjected to imperial laws, customs, and taxation, as the Empire seeks to assimilate them into its system of governance. Resistance is met with severe consequences, suppressing any hope of reclaiming independence. Under imperial control, the British Isles become a valuable resource for the Empire. The Empire exploits the region's rich natural resources, such as coal, iron, and agricultural products, to fuel its expanding industrial complex. British laborers are forced into servitude, their talents and skills exploited for the Empire's economic gain. The Empire's imperial enterprises amass wealth while the British people bear the burden. Despite the Empire's oppressive rule, pockets of resistance emerge. Secret societies, underground networks, and determined individuals form a clandestine resistance movement, operating in the shadows to undermine imperial authority. They preserve the British identity and foster hope for a future where the Empire's grip can be loosened, and independence restored. The resistance fighters engage in a protracted struggle for liberation, employing guerrilla tactics, sabotage, and clandestine operations to disrupt imperial control. Their actions inspire a growing sense of defiance among the British population, reigniting the spirit of independence and fueling a desire to reclaim their homeland from imperial domination. The Empire, caught off guard by the resilience of the resistance, faces an unexpected challenge to its supremacy. As the resistance gains momentum, the Empire becomes increasingly desperate to maintain its hold on the British Isles. The imperial forces escalate their crackdown on the resistance, utilizing brutal tactics and heightened surveillance to suppress dissent. Propaganda campaigns intensify, portraying the resistance as terrorists and agitators, aiming to undermine public support for their cause. In a dramatic turn of events, the resistance gains significant ground in its struggle against the empire. The imperial forces find themselves stretched thin, facing a resilient and determined enemy. The British people, inspired by the resistance's bravery and sacrifice, begin to rally behind their cause, fueling a groundswell of support for liberation. The empire's hold on the British Isles begins to falter. In the final act of this story, the empire's grip on the British Isles is shattered. The resistance, bolstered by the support of the British population, mounts a decisive campaign that drives the imperial forces out of the region. The empire's dream of domination crumbles, and the British people reclaim their independence, marking a significant victory for freedom and self-determination. With the empire's defeat, the British Isles embark on a new chapter in their history. Rebuilding efforts focus on healing the wounds of the imperial occupation and fostering unity among the British people. Democratic institutions are established, ensuring that power is distributed among the people, preventing the concentration of authority that characterized the empire's rule. The story of the empire's conquest of the British Isles serves as a reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of resilience in the face of oppression. The British people, having experienced the devastating consequences of imperial domination, remain vigilant in safeguarding their newfound freedom and ensuring that the lessons of their history are never forgotten. In this sequel, the American Empire's ambitious expansion leads to its conquest of the British Isles. However, resistance and a growing sense of British identity ultimately challenge the Empire's dominance, leading to its eventual defeat and the restoration of British independence. The story highlights the resilience of the human spirit and the longing for freedom in the face of overwhelming odds. Chapter 13 title, Bonds of Unity. In a surprising turn of events, the British arrive on American shores not as conquerors, but as allies. Recognizing the shared values and historical ties between the two nations, the British seek to establish a cooperative relationship with the American Empire. Their arrival is met with curiosity and cautious optimism from both the Empire's leaders and its citizens. The British and the American Empire embark on a journey of reconciliation and cooperation. The imperial court, aware of the British desire for partnership, engages in diplomatic negotiations to find common ground and forge a mutually beneficial relationship. The empire's people, initially skeptical, begin to see the potential advantages of working alongside the British in a changing global landscape. As news of the British-American partnership spreads, the worldwide community reacts with enthusiasm. The international community, recognizing the historic significance of the collaboration, welcomes the alliance as a beacon of unity and reconciliation. Diplomatic ties are strengthened, and trade agreements are established, opening up new avenues of cooperation and economic growth. The British and the American Empire navigate the challenges of merging their systems and ideologies. Differences in governance and cultural practices are acknowledged, but efforts are made to find common ground and foster mutual understanding. Through dialogue, compromise, and respect for each other's heritage, the two nations forge a path forward built on cooperation and shared goals. The British-American alliance becomes a powerful force on the global stage. Together, they champion causes such as human rights, environmental stewardship, and economic development. Their united voice carries weight in international forums, shaping global policies and garnering widespread support. The alliance becomes a symbol of cooperation and diplomatic success, admired and respected by nations around the world. Over time, the bonds between the British and the American Empire deepen. Cultural exchanges flourish, fostering an appreciation for each other's traditions, arts, and values. Collaborative educational programs strengthen ties between the youth of both nations, promoting a shared sense of identity and fostering friendships that will shape the future. As the story unfolds, the British-American alliance faces new challenges. Global conflicts, economic fluctuations, and social transformations test the strength of their partnership. However, the shared history, common values, and deep-rooted friendship forged between the two nations guide them through the storms, reaffirming their commitment to unity and cooperation. The British-American alliance serves as a shining example of how nations can overcome past conflicts and forge a path of mutual respect and collaboration. The story inspires hope and demonstrates the power of unity in overcoming adversity. The Empire's people, once skeptical, now embrace the British as partners and allies, recognizing the positive impact of their joint efforts. As the story nears its conclusion, the legacy of unity between the British and the American Empire is etched into the annals of history. Their alliance serves as a foundation for lasting peace, cooperation, and shared prosperity. The Empire's people, united with the British, continue to navigate the complexities of a changing world, facing future challenges hand in hand. In this sequel, the British and the American Empire forge a partnership built on trust, respect, and shared values. The story focuses on the strength of international cooperation, highlighting the positive impact of unity on a global scale. It portrays the British as respected allies, admired by the worldwide community for their commitment to reconciliation and their collaborative approach to global issues. Chapter 14 title, Union of Nations. In a remarkable turn of events, the British and the American Empire embark on a journey towards unification, driven by a shared vision of a united and prosperous empire. The imperial courts of both nations, recognizing the strength in their collaboration, propose the formation of a unified empire that embraces the heritage, values, and strengths of each nation. The process of unification begins as the imperial courts work together to establish a unified government structure. A constitution is drafted, blending elements of both British and American governance systems to create a unique framework that ensures representation, individual liberties, and checks and balances. The imperial courts cede certain powers to the newly formed central government, which oversees the administration of the unified empire. As the two nations merge, a rich cultural fusion takes place. Traditions, languages, and customs intertwine, creating a vibrant tapestry of diverse identities within the unified empire. Cultural exchange programs flourish, enabling the empire's people to learn from and appreciate the unique heritage of different regions. This harmonious blending of cultures strengthens the empire's sense of unity and fosters a shared national identity. The unification of the British and American economies results in unparalleled economic synergy. Trade barriers are dismantled, creating a vast internal market that fuels economic growth and innovation. The empire's industries thrive, benefiting from a skilled workforce, abundant resources, and enhanced access to global markets. Economic prosperity is shared across the entire empire, uplifting the standard of living for its people. The unified empire creates a powerful military force, combining the strengths of the British and American armed forces. A coordinated defense strategy ensures the empire's security and protects its interests both domestically and abroad. Military cooperation and joint training exercises foster a sense of camaraderie among the empire's soldiers, solidifying their commitment to the shared defense of their united homeland. The unified empire becomes a beacon of democracy and progress on the world stage. The imperial court institutes comprehensive reforms to ensure the representation and participation of all citizens in the decision-making process. Democratic principles are upheld, with regular elections, freedom of speech, and a robust system of checks and balances. The empire serves as an inspiration to nations aspiring to achieve similar democratic ideals. With the British-American Empire now united, it assumes a position of global leadership. The empire actively engages in international diplomacy, promoting peace, cooperation, and the protection of human rights. It champions environmental sustainability, spearheads scientific advancements, and provides humanitarian aid to nations in need. The empire's influence and soft power shape global policies, working towards a more just and equitable world. As the story progresses, the United Empire faces numerous challenges. Economic fluctuations, social unrest, and external conflicts test the resilience of its unified governance. However, the empire's commitment to unity and cooperation allows it to weather these storms. The strength derived from the shared values and mutual support among its people enables the empire to navigate through crises and emerge stronger than ever. The story concludes with the legacy of unity, peace, and prosperity left by the United Empire. Its triumphs and accomplishments become an enduring testament to the power of collaboration and the potential for nations to overcome differences in pursuit of a shared destiny. The empire's people, guided by the spirit of unity, continue to shape a future that embodies the ideals of democracy, progress, and global solidarity. In this sequel, the British and the American Empire merge to form a united empire, combining their strengths and forging a path of unity and prosperity. The story focuses on the benefits of cultural fusion, economic synergy, and shared democratic values. It portrays the United Empire as a global leader, admired and respected for its commitment to peace, progress, and international cooperation. Chapter 15 Title: The United States Empire. The success and stability of the British-American Empire served as an inspiration to neighboring European nations. Recognizing the benefits of collaboration and the strength in unity, leaders from across the continent engage in discussions with the United Empire. Together, they envision a grand alliance that encompasses the values, cultures, and strengths of each nation. The United Empire embarks on a diplomatic campaign to invite European nations to join its fold. Through negotiations, mutual agreements, and shared goals, one by one, countries willingly become part of the United States Empire. The unification process ensures the preservation of each nation's identity while harmonizing policies, institutions, and systems to create a cohesive empire. As European nations unite with the British-American Empire, a tapestry of cultures weaves together, creating a vibrant and diverse society within the United States Empire. Citizens celebrate their unique heritage while embracing a shared identity as members of a larger empire. Cultural festivals, art exhibitions, and exchange programs flourish, fostering mutual understanding, respect, and unity. The expansion of the United States Empire solidifies its position as an economic powerhouse on the global stage. The merging of European economies creates a vast market that drives innovation, trade, and investment. The empire's industries flourish, leveraging the diverse talents, resources, and expertise of its member nations. Economic prosperity spreads, improving the standard of living for citizens throughout the empire. With the inclusion of European nations, the United States Empire forges an even stronger defense alliance. Joint military exercises, intelligence sharing, and coordinated defense strategies enhance the empire's security and deter potential threats. The empire's armed forces stand as a united front, prepared to defend their collective interests and uphold peace and stability within their borders and beyond. The United States Empire is built upon a foundation of democratic principles. A shared commitment to individual freedoms, representative governance, and the rule of law ensures that democracy thrives within the empire. Citizens actively participate in the decision-making process, exercising their rights through regular elections, civil discourse, and the protection of human rights. The empire serves as a shining example of a united and democratic society. With the inclusion of European nations, the United States Empire's global influence expands exponentially. The empire becomes a key player in international affairs, shaping global policies, promoting human rights, and fostering cooperation among nations. Its commitment to sustainable development, climate action, and humanitarian aid earns the empire respect and admiration worldwide. The United States Empire's strength lies in its unity amidst diversity. By embracing the richness of cultures, traditions, and perspectives, the empire fosters an inclusive society that celebrates diversity as a source of strength. Equal opportunities, social justice, and inclusivity initiatives ensure that all citizens, regardless of their background, have the chance to thrive and contribute to the empire's success. The story concludes with the United States Empire entering a new era of prosperity and harmony. The empire's unity and collective strength enable it to overcome challenges, adapt to a changing world, and continue progressing towards a better future. The legacy of the empire becomes a testament to the transformative power of collaboration, demonstrating that nations united under a shared vision can create a brighter and more prosperous world for all. In this sequel, the United States Empire expands to include European nations, fostering a united and prosperous society built on shared values, cultural diversity, and democratic principles. The story emphasizes the benefits of collaboration, economic strength, and collective defense. It portrays the empire as a global leader, respected and admired for its commitment to unity, peace, and the promotion of democratic ideals. Chapter 16 title, Echoes of Defiance. Over time, a sense of dissatisfaction brews among the original 13 colonies within the United States Empire. Despite enjoying the benefits of unity and prosperity, a faction of individuals within these colonies begins to yearn for a return to independence. Their desire to reclaim the spirit of self-governance and individual autonomy becomes a driving force. The call for independence reverberates through the original 13 colonies, sparking debates and discussions across the empire. The dissident voices argue for the restoration of their individual sovereignty, citing the need for self-determination and a more localized system of governance. The imperial court, while acknowledging the concerns, expresses a commitment to maintaining the unity of the empire. Negotiations between the dissident colonies and the imperial court begin in an attempt to address their grievances. However, the divide proves difficult to bridge, as both sides firmly adhere to their respective positions. The dissident colonies demand greater autonomy, while the empire emphasizes the advantages of unity and the shared responsibilities that come with it. As tensions escalate, the empire deploys its forces to suppress the growing resistance within the dissident colonies. Demonstrations, protests, and acts of civil disobedience become common forms of dissent. The empire's attempts to quell the unrest strain the fabric of the empire, deepening the divide between the dissident colonies and the imperial court. Recognizing the threat to its unity, the empire implements countermeasures to undermine the dissident movement. Propaganda campaigns, surveillance systems, and targeted repression tactics are employed to crush the spirit of independence and discourage any further dissent. The empire seeks to maintain control, regardless of the cost to individual freedoms and desires for self-governance. Despite the dissident colonies' fervent efforts, the rebellion ultimately fails to achieve independence. The empire's superior military might, extensive resources, and centralized control prove insurmountable obstacles. The dissident forces, outmatched and outnumbered, are unable to sustain a successful campaign against the empire's forces. Their dreams of independence are shattered, leaving them disillusioned and subdued. In the aftermath of the failed rebellion, the dissident colonies face severe repercussions. The empire imposes stricter control measures, curbing individual freedoms and intensifying its grip on the dissident regions. The dissidents are subjected to surveillance, harsh penalties, and re-education programs aimed at suppressing any lingering desires for independence. While the dissident colonies may have been subjugated, a sense of resentment lingers among their people. The memory of their failed rebellion fuels a quiet resistance, as underground networks and secret societies keep the flame of defiance alive. They continue to pass down the stories of independence, nurturing hope for a future where their dreams can be realized. Recognizing the need for healing and reconciliation, the empire launches efforts to integrate the dissident colonies back into the fabric of the empire. Reconciliation commissions, economic development programs, and cultural exchanges are established to bridge the divide and foster unity. The empire seeks to ease the tensions and rebuild trust among its people. The story concludes with an empire forever altered by the failed rebellion of the dissident colonies. While unity and centralization remain at the core of the empire's governance, the memory of the dissident colonies' struggle for independence serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between unity and individual aspirations for self-governance. The empire's legacy is one of both triumph and lessons learned from the echoes of defiance. In this sequel, the original 13 colonies' desire for independence is met with resistance and suppression by the United States Empire. The rebellion ultimately fails, leading to a deeper divide between the dissident colonies and the empire. The story highlights the complexities of balancing unity and individual autonomy, while showcasing the lingering resentment and quiet resistance that emerges in the aftermath of a failed rebellion. Chapter 17 title: Boundless Dominion. Driven by a hunger for territorial expansion and geopolitical dominance, the United States Empire sets its sights on neighboring regions. With military might, economic influence, and diplomatic prowess, the empire initiates a strategic campaign to take over Canada and South America. The empire's leaders believe that these conquests will solidify their position as a global superpower. The United States Empire launches a calculated military campaign to annex Canada. The empire's superior forces swiftly overpower Canadian defenses, leading to the surrender of major cities and key regions. Canadian citizens find themselves living under the rule of the empire, grappling with a loss of autonomy and a new political landscape. As the empire absorbs Canada into its dominion, assimilation efforts are put into motion. Canadian institutions, laws, and customs are gradually replaced with imperial counterparts, eroding the distinct Canadian identity. However, pockets of resistance emerge, as determined individuals and underground networks work to preserve Canadian culture and maintain a sense of national pride. The United States Empire turns its attention to South America, launching a series of military campaigns to assert its control over the continent. The empire's forces employ a combination of military might, economic leverage, and political maneuvering to secure their dominance. South American nations find themselves under the empire's rule, facing a profound shift in their governance and way of life. Under imperial rule, Canada and South America undergo significant socio-economic transformations. The empire's economic influence shapes these regions, as resources are exploited and industries restructured to serve the empire's interests. While economic development brings prosperity to some, disparities and inequalities deepen, leading to social tensions and unrest among the population. The United States Empire strengthens its grip over the conquered territories through various means. Propaganda campaigns, cultural assimilation, and strategic alliances with local elites help maintain control and suppress dissent. The empire's military presence and intelligence apparatus ensure compliance, while strategic investments and economic incentives are used to solidify loyalty. Despite the empire's efforts to maintain dominance, seeds of resistance continue to sprout. Indigenous communities, marginalized groups, and those who refuse to accept imperial rule form alliances, fighting for their rights, cultural preservation, and self-determination. Their struggle becomes a symbol of resilience, inspiring others within the empire to question the legitimacy of its conquests. As resistance grows, fractures emerge within the empire itself. Dissent and disillusionment spread among the empire's citizens, who begin to question the morality and sustainability of its conquests. Intellectuals, artists, and activists advocate for empathy, justice, and a re-evaluation of the empire's imperialistic ambitions. The story reaches a critical juncture as the empire confronts the consequences of its actions. The resistance movements within Canada and South America gain momentum, challenging the empire's control. In the face of mounting pressure, the empire's leaders are forced to reckon with the ethical implications of their expansionist policies and seek paths to reconciliation with the conquered regions. The story concludes with the United States Empire at a crossroads. Acknowledging the resistance, the empire begins a process of introspection and re-evaluation. It opens dialogue with Canada and South America, seeking to forge new relationships based on mutual respect and shared values. The empire's citizens, fueled by a desire for justice and inclusivity, advocate for a more compassionate and equitable approach to governance. In this sequel, the United States Empire extends its dominion over Canada and South America, leading to socio-economic changes, cultural assimilation, and resistance. The story explores the tensions between power and autonomy, as well as the consequences of imperialism. It emphasizes the resilience of marginalized communities and the capacity for societal transformation, ultimately calling for a re-evaluation of the empire's actions and a pursuit of reconciliation. Chapter 18 title: The Empire's Triumph. The United States Empire, determined to assert its dominance, formulates a meticulous strategy to secure victory over Canada and South America. Utilizing its military might, economic leverage, and political influence, the empire launches a series of coordinated military campaigns aimed at swiftly overwhelming the opposition and solidifying its control. The empire's forces execute their plan with precision, overwhelming the defenses of Canada and South America. The empire's superior firepower, advanced technology, and strategic alliances ensure swift victories on multiple fronts. Major cities fall, resistance is quelled, and the empire establishes its rule over the conquered territories. With the empire's triumph, efforts are made to assimilate Canada and South America into the imperial fold. The empire institutes policies to gradually integrate local institutions and customs into its existing framework, striking a balance between preserving cultural heritage and aligning with imperial values. Stability is prioritized, as the empire invests in infrastructure, healthcare, and education to win the support of the local populations. Under the empire's rule, Canada and South America experience a surge in economic prosperity. The empire leverages the region's abundant resources, investing in infrastructure development, technological advancements, and industrial growth. Economic partnerships and trade agreements with other regions of the empire result in increased trade, job opportunities, and improved standards of living for the inhabitants of Canada and South America. The empire's dominance is fortified by a comprehensive security and defense apparatus. Military presence is maintained in strategic locations, ensuring the stability of the conquered regions and deterring any potential threats. The empire invests in local security forces, training them to uphold imperial interests while also safeguarding the welfare of the local population. The empire's governance prioritizes compliance and order, aiming to maintain stability across the conquered territories. Local administrations, guided by imperial directives, enforce laws and regulations to ensure peace and security. While dissent is not tolerated, efforts are made to address grievances through legal channels and engage in dialogue to address the concerns of the local populations. As the empire tightens its grip on Canada and South America, economic integration with the broader imperial economy deepens. Trade networks are expanded, allowing for the flow of goods, services, and investments between the conquered regions and other parts of the empire. Economic interdependence strengthens the empire's hold while fostering mutual benefits for all involved. The assimilation efforts of the empire result in a prosperous cultural exchange between the conquered regions and the broader empire. The empire celebrates the diverse cultural heritage of Canada and South America, showcasing their traditions, arts, and history within the imperial society. This exchange fosters mutual understanding, appreciation, and the development of a shared identity within the empire. The story concludes with the legacy of the United States Empire's triumph over Canada and South America. The conquered territories experience unprecedented economic growth, social stability, and technological advancements under imperial rule. The empire's dominance ensures a lasting peace, security, and prosperity within its expanded dominion. In this sequel, the United States Empire achieves victory over Canada and South America, resulting in economic prosperity, stability, and assimilation. The story portrays the empire as a benevolent and transformative force, ensuring compliance, order, and economic integration. It highlights the benefits of the empire's rule, emphasizing the opportunities for cultural exchange and the overall well-being of the conquered territories under its authority. Chapter 19 Rekindled Flames. The devastating consequences of the war and the empire's expansion sow the seeds of discontent among the original 13 colonies. The memory of their previous struggle for independence resurfaces, igniting a renewed desire for self-governance. The colonies, having witnessed the impact of the empire's dominance on Canada and South America, unite once again in their quest for freedom. The original 13 colonies embark on a journey to rebuild alliances and forge new partnerships. They reach out to sympathetic nations, appealing for support in their fight for independence. Diplomatic channels are reactivated, and clandestine networks are established to coordinate efforts, share intelligence, and rally global support for their cause. Learning from their past struggles, the colonies adopt guerrilla warfare tactics to combat the empire's overwhelming military might. Small, highly mobile resistance units operate in the shadows, striking at vulnerable targets and disrupting the empire's control over strategic locations. The colonists utilize their intimate knowledge of the land to their advantage, inflicting heavy losses on the empire's forces. As the colonies rally behind their cause, divisions emerge within the empire. Dissent spreads among the empire's citizens, with some sympathizing with the colonists' struggle for independence. Intellectuals, artists, and influential figures within the empire question the morality and sustainability of imperial rule, leading to a growing movement for reform and self-reflection. News of the colonists' fight for independence spreads across the globe, eliciting sympathy and support from nations that empathize with their cause. Diplomatic efforts yield alliances, military aid, and economic support from countries eager to challenge the empire's dominance. The colonists' determination and resilience inspire a global wave of solidarity, amplifying their chances of success. Faced with the resurgent rebellion, the empire doubles down on its efforts to suppress the uprising. Repression tactics intensify as the empire seeks to crush the colonists' quest for independence. Propaganda campaigns, surveillance systems, and targeted oppression are employed to suppress dissent and maintain control. However, the empire's response inadvertently fuels further resistance and strengthens the colonists' resolve. The colonists engage in a protracted struggle for independence, fighting against the empire's superior military strength. Battles are waged across the colonies, with both sides enduring significant losses. The colonists' guerrilla tactics and unwavering determination, coupled with international support, tip the scales in their favor, forcing the empire to reassess its grip on the colonies. As the conflict reaches a critical juncture, negotiations are initiated between the colonists and the empire. Recognizing the futility of a prolonged war, both sides come to the table with a willingness to find a compromise. The colonists' demands for self-governance, individual rights, and representation are met with cautious consideration by the empire, leading to a series of negotiations aimed at reaching a peaceful resolution. The story concludes with the restoration of independence for the original 13 colonies. Through a negotiated settlement, the colonists secure self-governance within a framework that respects their rights and aspirations. The empire, acknowledging the colonists' resilience and determination, grants them the freedom they fought for, while maintaining a mutually beneficial relationship based on shared values and trade. With independence restored, the original 13 colonies embark on a new chapter in their history. They focus on rebuilding their nations, fostering democratic governance, and nurturing the values that inspired their quest for freedom. The story serves as a reminder of the enduring spirit of liberty and the indomitable will of a people determined to shape their own destiny. In this sequel, the original 13 colonies rise again, united in their desire for independence from the empire. Through guerrilla warfare, international support, and a steadfast determination, they challenge the empire's dominance and ultimately secure their freedom. The story highlights the power of resilience, international solidarity, and the pursuit of self-governance in the face of oppression. Chapter 20 title, Shadows of Sovereignty. After reclaiming their independence, the original 13 colonies find themselves in a precarious position, surrounded by the formidable United States Empire. Tensions simmer as the empire seeks to reassert control over the rebellious colonies, and the colonists prepare to defend their hard-won sovereignty. Both sides engage in diplomatic maneuvers and military-built UPS, with war seeming inevitable. The colonists, having learned from their past struggles, fortify their defenses and consolidate their alliances. They draw upon their experience in guerrilla warfare and employ strategic tactics to hold their ground against the empire's overwhelming military might. The colonists are united in their determination to protect their newfound independence and safeguard their democratic values. The United States Empire launches a full-scale military campaign against the rebellious colonies, seeking to crush their resistance. The empire deploys its vast resources and advanced weaponry, aiming to swiftly overcome the colonists' defenses. However, the colonists' knowledge of the land and their resilience in the face of adversity allows them to hold their ground against the empire's onslaught. As the war intensifies, the colonists revert to their tried and tested guerrilla warfare tactics. They strike from hidden positions, disrupting supply lines, and targeting key imperial assets. Their decentralized approach and intimate knowledge of the terrain give them the advantage, prolonging the conflict and wearing down the empire's forces. News of the colonists' struggle for sovereignty reaches sympathetic nations around the world. International support pours in, ranging from diplomatic assistance to material aid and moral backing. The colonists find solace in the knowledge that they are not alone in their fight for freedom. This global solidarity strengthens their resolve and bolsters their chances of holding their ground against the empire. As the war rages on, a stalemate ensues. The colonists' tenacity and guerrilla tactics make it difficult for the empire to achieve a decisive victory. Recognizing the protracted nature of the conflict and the costs incurred by both sides, negotiations are initiated to explore the possibility of a peaceful resolution. The colonists' demand for recognition of their sovereignty becomes a focal point in the talks. After arduous negotiations, a fragile truce is reached between the colonists and the United States Empire. The empire reluctantly concedes to the colonists' demand for recognition of their sovereignty, acknowledging their right to self-governance. The truce sets the stage for a new relationship, with both sides cautiously navigating the path towards coexistence and mutual respect. The colonists, having successfully held their ground, focus on consolidating their independence. They establish their own institutions, craft a constitution, and build a system of governance that reflects their democratic aspirations. The scars of war remain, but the colonists are determined to forge ahead, nurturing their sovereignty and ensuring the prosperity of their nations. As the story draws to a close, the colonists reflect on the lessons of their hard-fought independence. They value the importance of unity, resilience, and strategic thinking in the face of adversity. The war serves as a reminder of the fragility of freedom and the constant need to protect and uphold democratic principles. The legacy of the colonists endures, serving as a symbol of courage and determination in the face of oppression. Their successful defense of their sovereignty inspires future generations to cherish and safeguard the values of liberty, democracy, and self-governance. The story of the 13 colonies' ability to hold their ground against the United States Empire serves as a testament to the indomitable spirit of a people fighting for their rights and independence. Chapter 21 title: The Tapestry of Independence. Inspired by the success of the original 13 colonies in securing their independence, other colonies across North America begin to yearn for self-governance. They witness the resilience and determination of their neighboring brethren, and the desire for freedom kindles in their hearts. Together, they unite in their quest to break free from the grasp of the United States Empire. The original 13 colonies, having tasted the fruits of freedom, reach out to their neighboring colonies. They offer support, guidance, and solidarity to those who seek to follow in their footsteps. Diplomatic envoys are dispatched, alliances are forged, and a shared vision of self-determination binds the colonies together, forming a formidable front against the empire. As news of the growing independence movement spreads, the United States Empire scrambles to contain the rebellion. The empire faces a formidable challenge as multiple colonies join forces, posing a significant threat to its dominance. The empire employs various tactics to suppress the uprising, from military force to propaganda campaigns aimed at quelling the growing dissent. The United Colonies embark on a continental uprising against the empire. Coordinated military campaigns, acts of civil disobedience, and widespread resistance efforts disrupt the empire's control over North America. The colonists draw inspiration from the original 13 colonies, employing guerrilla tactics and utilizing their knowledge of the land to their advantage. The international community, witnessing the courageous stand of the United Colonies, rallies behind their cause. Support pours in from sympathetic nations, providing moral backing, military aid, and diplomatic assistance. The colonists' struggle for independence resonates with people around the world, amplifying their chances of success and highlighting the universal longing for freedom. As the war progresses, the tide begins to turn in favor of the United Colonies. The empire's grip on North America weakens as the colonists demonstrate their resilience and determination. Key victories and strategic alliances shift the balance of power, instilling hope and bolstering the colonists' belief in their ability to secure their independence. Recognizing the futility of continued conflict, negotiations are initiated between the United Colonies and the United States Empire. The empire, facing mounting pressure and growing dissent within its own borders, acknowledges the colonists' determination and their right to self-determination. Negotiations center on establishing a framework for peaceful secession and the formation of independent nations. Through painstaking negotiations, a settlement is reached, allowing the United Colonies to form their own independent nations. Each colony embarks on a unique journey, crafting their constitutions, establishing their governments, and nurturing their nascent democracies. The United Colonies' dream of independence becomes a reality as they step into a new era of self-governance. The newly formed independent nations of North America recognize the importance of collaboration and cooperation. They establish regional alliances, trade agreements, and platforms for collective decision-making. The lessons of the past, the spirit of unity, and the shared aspiration for freedom guide their interactions, ensuring the prosperity and stability of the continent. The story concludes with a transformed continent, where independent nations flourish, each embracing their unique identities and governing systems. The United Colonies' struggle for independence leaves a lasting legacy, reminding future generations of the power of unity, resilience, and the pursuit of self-determination. North America stands as a tapestry of independent nations, interwoven by the common threads of freedom, democracy, and shared aspirations. In this sequel, other colonies in North America join the original 13 colonies in their quest for independence from the United States Empire. Together, they form a united front, challenging the empire's dominance and embarking on a continental uprising. The story highlights the power of collaboration, international support, and the universal desire for freedom. It depicts the birth of new nations in a transformed North America where independent nations thrive, interconnected by the shared values of self-governance and democracy. Chapter 22 title, The Triumph of Liberty. Tensions between the United Colonies and the United States Empire escalate, reaching a breaking point. The United Colonies, driven by a deep yearning for self-governance and a commitment to the principles of liberty, rise up against the oppressive rule of the Empire. They prepare for a decisive war that will determine their fate and the destiny of a nation. The United Colonies recognize the importance of unity in the face of the Empire's might. They forge an alliance, drawing upon their collective strengths, resources, and shared vision of independence. Assembling a formidable coalition, the colonies solidify their military strategy, political coordination, and determination to fight for their freedom. The war for independence commences, with the United Colonies launching a coordinated military campaign against the United States Empire. They employ innovative tactics, leveraging guerrilla warfare, knowledge of the land, and strategic maneuvers to outwit and outmaneuver the Empire's forces. The colonists' unwavering resolve and deep-seated belief in their cause fuel their determination to prevail. News of the United Colonies' fight for freedom spreads across the globe, eliciting widespread support and solidarity. Nations sympathetic to their cause provide crucial aid, ranging from military assistance to diplomatic recognition. The United Colonies' struggle resonates with people around the world, reinforcing their belief in the universal ideals of liberty and self-determination. The United States Empire, faced with a formidable rebellion, refuses to yield. It deploys its vast military resources and implements harsh suppression tactics in an attempt to crush the United Colonies' uprising. However, the Empire underestimates the United Colonies' resilience, determination, and the support they have garnered both domestically and internationally. As the war progresses, the tide begins to turn in favor of the United Colonies. The Empire's forces face mounting losses and logistical challenges, while the United Colonies gain momentum, capturing strategic positions and garnering local support. Key victories inspire hope and solidify the colonists' belief in their ultimate triumph over tyranny. The war reaches a climactic moment as the United Colonies mount their final offensive against the Empire. The colonists' coordinated assault, coupled with international reinforcements, leads to a decisive battle that ultimately tips the scales in their favor. The Empire's forces, demoralized and outmaneuvered, crumble before the United Colonies' unwavering determination. Victory is achieved as the United Colonies secure their independence from the United States Empire. The United Colonies stand as sovereign nations, having triumphed over oppression and re-established their right to self-governance. They celebrate their hard-fought independence, laying the foundation for a new era of liberty, democratic governance, and national prosperity. With independence achieved, the United Colonies turn their attention to rebuilding their nations and fostering reconciliation. They prioritize healing the wounds of war, establishing inclusive institutions, and addressing the needs of their citizens. The United Colonies strive to build just societies that uphold the values of liberty, equality, and justice, embracing the lessons learned from their struggle for independence. The story concludes with the United Colonies' legacy, serving as a testament to the indomitable human spirit and the power of unity in the face of adversity. Their victory inspires future generations to cherish and defend the hard-won freedoms and democratic principles that lie at the heart of their nations. The United Colonies' successful war for independence becomes a beacon of hope for all those yearning for liberty and self-determination. In this final sequel, the United Colonies wage a determined war against the United States Empire, ultimately achieving victory and securing their independence. The story highlights the resilience, unity, and sacrifices made in the pursuit of liberty. It underscores the transformative power of a people fighting for their rights and the enduring legacy of freedom that shapes their nation's future. Chapter 23 title, Shattered Foundations. The war between the United Colonies and the United States Empire sends shockwaves throughout the empire. The conflict not only strains the empire's military and resources but also exposes deep-rooted discontent among its own citizens. The hardships and sacrifices demanded by the war begin to erode the empire's unity, laying the foundation for its eventual unraveling. The cost of waging a prolonged war takes a heavy toll on the empire's economy. Skyrocketing war expenditures, coupled with disruptions in trade and commerce, lead to widespread economic hardships. Inflation rises, unemployment soars, and social inequalities deepen. The once prosperous empire finds itself teetering on the brink of financial collapse, further fueling societal unrest. As the war drags on, internal divisions within the United States Empire come to the forefront. Dissent and disillusionment spread among the empire's citizens, who bear the brunt of the war's consequences. Political factions emerge, each with differing visions for the empire's future. Ideological clashes and power struggles exacerbate the empire's crumbling foundation. Inspired by the United Colonies' successful fight for independence, breakaway movements gain traction within the empire. Regions, dissatisfied with the empire's governance and seeking self-determination, begin to declare their autonomy. The empire's attempts to quell these movements are met with resistance, as the desire for independence spreads like wildfire, further fragmenting the empire. With the empire's resources stretched thin by the ongoing war, maintaining security and order becomes increasingly challenging. Lawlessness, civil unrest, and armed rebellions erupt across the empire as disillusioned citizens, emboldened by the success of the United Colonies, take matters into their own hands. The empire's grip on its territories weakens, and chaos ensues. As the empire's stability crumbles, it finds itself increasingly isolated on the international stage. Nations once allied with the empire become wary of its weakened position and question its legitimacy. Diplomatic ties fracture, trade agreements dissolve, and the empire faces international condemnation for its actions. The empire's global influence wanes, exacerbating its internal strife. The empire's inability to contain internal discord and mounting external pressures leads to its eventual collapse. Regions once under its control assert their independence, fragmenting the empire into smaller, autonomous entities. Political boundaries shift, new nations emerge, and the once mighty United States Empire becomes a relic of the past, consigned to history. In the wake of the empire's collapse, a period of uncertainty ensues. The newly formed nations grapple with the task of rebuilding and charting their own paths forward. Some embrace democratic ideals, while others experiment with alternative forms of governance. The scars of the empire's demise serve as a reminder of the importance of unity, inclusivity, and learning from past mistakes. As the dust settles, the shattered remnants of the United States Empire serve as a cautionary tale. The consequences of overreach, internal divisions, and the pursuit of imperialistic ambitions are laid bare. The nations that rise from the empire's ashes are determined to forge a new future based on cooperation, mutual respect, and a commitment to the well-being of their citizens. The story concludes with the birth of a new era. The shattered foundations of the United States Empire give rise to a diverse tapestry of nations, each forging its own path. While scars of the past remain, the lessons learned from the empire's collapse guide the nations toward a future that embraces peace, cooperation, and the pursuit of a more equitable world. In this story, the war between the United Colonies and the United States Empire becomes the catalyst for the empire's downfall. Economic strain, internal divisions, breakaway movements, and international isolation contribute to the empire's collapse and fragmentation. The story emphasizes the importance of unity, introspection, and the pursuit of sustainable governance in the face of challenges and the quest for a more peaceful and equitable future. Chapter 24 title, Rebirth of a Nation. As the remnants of the United States Empire crumble, the United Colonies emerge as independent nations, their spirits rekindled by the triumph of freedom. Inspired by their shared history and the lessons learned from the empire's demise, the leaders of the United Colonies gather to celebrate and reflect on the path forward. In a moment of unity and solemnity, the leaders of the United Colonies gather on a momentous day to announce their decision. They proclaim the birth of a new nation, one that embodies the ideals and aspirations they have fought so valiantly for. The United Colonies shall henceforth be known as the United States of America, symbolizing a fresh start and a collective commitment to forging a brighter future. With the proclamation of the United States of America, the people of the newly formed nation embrace a shared identity. They reflect on their troubled history, acknowledging the mistakes and struggles that led to the downfall of the empire. Yet, they find solace in the realization that their path has led them to this transformative moment, a moment where they can redefine themselves as a united people. The leaders and citizens of the United States of America delve into the lessons of their tumultuous history. They recognize the dangers of unchecked power, the importance of a balanced governance structure, and the significance of individual rights and liberties. Drawing from their collective experiences, they craft a new constitution that safeguards these values and establishes a framework for democratic governance. In the wake of the empire's downfall, the United States of America focuses on healing and reconciliation. Efforts are made to address the wounds of the past, promote understanding, and foster unity among the diverse populations within the nation. The celebration of newfound independence is coupled with a commitment to justice, equality, and inclusivity for all citizens. The United States of America embraces its newfound identity and embarks on a journey to build a bright future. With a resilient spirit and a commitment to progress, the nation invests in infrastructure, education, and economic development. It cultivates a culture of innovation and fosters an environment that empowers its citizens to contribute to the nation's growth and prosperity. The United States of America, mindful of its place in the global community, actively engages with other nations. It seeks to build diplomatic relationships, promote international cooperation, and address global challenges. Drawing from the lessons of the past, the nation strives to be a force for peace, justice, and progress, contributing to a more harmonious and interconnected world. The United States of America celebrates its unity in diversity, embracing the rich tapestry of cultures, traditions, and perspectives within its borders. It recognizes that its strength lies in its inclusivity and the power of its diverse citizenry. The nation fosters an environment where all are valued and respected, upholding the principles of equality and justice that form the bedrock of its identity. As the story reaches its conclusion, the United States of America stands as a beacon of hope and inspiration. It serves as a testament to the resilience of a people who have overcome adversity, learned from their history, and emerged stronger and united. The nation's journey symbolizes the triumph of liberty, democracy, and the enduring human spirit. The story of the United States of America is not just a tale of its birth but an ongoing narrative of progress and growth. The nation's legacy is carried forward by each generation, as they build upon the foundation laid by their predecessors. The United States of America remains committed to the principles of liberty, equality, and justice, continuing its quest to be a shining example of democracy for the world. In this sequel, the United Colonies celebrate the downfall of the United States Empire and embrace a fresh start as the United States of America. Reflecting on their troubled history, they learn from past mistakes, embrace a shared identity, and build a nation that upholds the values of liberty, justice, and unity. The story emphasizes the power of resilience, self-reflection, and the enduring spirit of a people determined to forge their own destiny. Chapter 25 title, The United States of America, A Journey of Growth. In the aftermath of its tumultuous history, the United States of America embarks on a comprehensive process of rebuilding and reconstruction. The nation invests in infrastructure, revitalizes communities affected by past conflicts, and seeks to address socio-economic disparities. Through these efforts, the United States of America lays the foundation for a more prosperous and equitable society. The United States of America looks beyond its borders, embracing an outward-looking perspective. It engages in global trade, fostering economic partnerships, and cultural exchanges that enrich its society. By promoting understanding and cooperation with nations worldwide, the United States of America becomes an active participant in shaping global affairs and addressing shared challenges. The United States of America becomes a hub for scientific discovery and innovation. It invests heavily in research and development, nurturing a culture of intellectual curiosity and technological progress. Breakthroughs in medicine, renewable energy, space exploration, and other fields contribute to the nation's growth and influence on the world stage. Driven by a commitment to equality, the United States of America continues to advance social progress. It confronts systemic inequalities, dismantles barriers, and ensures that every citizen has equal opportunities to thrive. Education, healthcare, and social welfare systems are strengthened, fostering a society where everyone can reach their full potential. Recognizing the importance of environmental sustainability, the United States of America takes significant steps to mitigate climate change and protect the planet. It adopts clean energy sources, implements stringent environmental regulations, and spearheads global efforts to address ecological challenges. The nation becomes a leader in sustainable practices and sets an example for others to follow. The United States of America remains committed to upholding and strengthening its democratic principles. It fosters an engaged citizenry, promotes transparency, and safeguards the rule of law. The nation embraces participatory democracy, ensuring that all voices are heard, and working towards a government that truly represents the will of the people. Diversity continues to be a defining characteristic of the United States of America. The nation celebrates its multicultural heritage, recognizing that strength lies in the contributions of its diverse population. Through inclusivity and respect for different cultures, the United States of America flourishes as a vibrant and harmonious society. The United States of America plays an active role in promoting global peace and cooperation. It seeks diplomatic resolutions to conflicts, supports humanitarian efforts, and collaborates with other nations to address global challenges. Through dialogue and understanding, the nation builds bridges and fosters a more peaceful and interconnected world. The United States of America serves as an inspiration for future generations. It encourages innovation, nurtures creativity, and provides access to quality education. The nation values critical thinking, fosters a spirit of exploration, and empowers individuals to become agents of positive change, ensuring a legacy that continues to shape the world. The story of the United States of America is one of continual growth and evolution. With each passing generation, the nation faces new challenges and embraces new opportunities. The United States of America remains committed to its founding ideals while adapting to the changing needs of its people and the world. Its journey is a testament to the indomitable spirit of a nation that continues to strive for progress, unity, and a better future. In this final sequel, the United States of America undergoes a transformative journey of growth. The nation rebuilds, expands its horizons, and becomes a leader in science, innovation, and environmental stewardship. It prioritizes social progress, equality, and environmental sustainability, while upholding its democratic principles and celebrating diversity. The United States of America emerges as a global force for good, inspiring future generations and contributing to a more peaceful and prosperous world. Chapter 26 title, A United Path. In the aftermath of challenges and conflicts, the United States of America embarks on a collective journey of healing and reconciliation. The nation acknowledges the pain and divisions of the past and commits to fostering understanding, empathy, and unity. Through dialogue, restorative justice, and community-building efforts, the United States of America takes significant strides towards healing its societal wounds. Recognizing the importance of unity, the United States of America places a strong emphasis on bridging divides and fostering inclusive dialogue. The nation engages in meaningful conversations that bring together diverse perspectives, seeking common ground and mutual understanding. Through empathy, respect, and a commitment to finding shared solutions, the United States of America strengthens the bonds that hold the nation together. The United States of America focuses on strengthening its institutions to ensure transparency, accountability, and fairness. It re-evaluates and reforms systems to address systemic issues, making the government more responsive and representative of the needs and aspirations of its citizens. The nation seeks to restore faith in its democratic processes and build a more inclusive and equitable society. Education and innovation take center stage as the United States of America invests in cultivating a skilled workforce and fostering a culture of creativity and discovery. The nation revitalizes its education system, providing quality education to all, regardless of background or socioeconomic status. It creates an environment that nurtures innovation, unlocking the potential of its citizens and driving economic growth. The United States of America commits to becoming a global leader in environmental sustainability. It adopts bold measures to combat climate change, protect natural resources, and promote renewable energy. The nation encourages sustainable practices in industries, promotes conservation efforts, and works collaboratively with other nations to address global environmental challenges. Recognizing the strength of grassroots initiatives, the United States of America empowers local communities to take an active role in shaping their own futures. It supports community-driven development projects, encourages civic engagement, and amplifies the voices of marginalized groups. The nation celebrates the unique identities and contributions of its diverse communities, fostering a sense of belonging and empowerment. The United States of America actively engages in international cooperation, recognizing the interconnectedness of global challenges. It forges partnerships with other nations to address issues such as poverty, human rights, and global health. The nation takes a leading role in promoting peace, diplomacy, and collaborative solutions, contributing to a more harmonious and inclusive world. The United States of America places great emphasis on nurturing compassionate leadership at all levels of society. It encourages individuals to serve their communities and engage in acts of kindness and empathy. The nation recognizes the power of compassionate leadership in driving positive change and creating a society that prioritizes the well-being and dignity of all its citizens. With each passing year, the United States of America continues to evolve, guided by a shared vision for the future. The nation embraces innovation, upholds democratic principles, and prioritizes the well-being and prosperity of its citizens. It looks to the future with hope, resilience, and a commitment to a united path that uplifts every individual and ensures a brighter tomorrow. The story of the United States of America is an ever-advancing journey of growth, unity, and progress. The nation remains steadfast in its pursuit of justice, equality, and opportunity for all. It cherishes its diversity, celebrates its achievements, and learns from its past to shape a future that embodies the true ideals of freedom, compassion, and shared humanity. In this sequel, the United States of America embarks on a path of healing, unity, and progress. The nation focuses on bridging divides, strengthening institutions, and investing in education and innovation. It prioritizes environmental stewardship, empowers local communities, and fosters global cooperation. The United States of America nurtures compassionate leadership, envisions a bright future, and strives to create a society that embodies its core values of justice, equality, and unity. Chapter 27 title, The Quest for Equity. The United States of America renews its commitment to achieving true equity for all its citizens. The nation embraces a vision of inclusivity, where every individual, regardless of their background, enjoys equal rights, opportunities, and access to resources. This vision serves as a guiding principle for the transformative journey ahead. The United States of America confronts the systemic injustices that have plagued its history. The nation undertakes comprehensive reforms to dismantle discriminatory practices, ensuring that all individuals are treated fairly and with dignity. Through legislative changes, education, and community engagement, the United States of America seeks to rectify the wrongs of the past and build a more just society. The United States of America focuses on creating economic opportunities that empower all its citizens. The nation invests in marginalized communities, providing resources for skill development, entrepreneurship, and job creation. It encourages inclusive economic policies that promote upward mobility and bridge the wealth gap, fostering a society where everyone can thrive. Education becomes a paramount priority for the United States of America. The nation strives to provide quality education to every child, regardless of their socio-economic background or location. It invests in schools, teachers, and educational programs, ensuring that all students have access to a robust and inclusive learning environment. The United States of America believes that education is the key to unlocking individual potential and building a more equitable society. The United States of America recognizes healthcare as a fundamental right. The nation works towards creating a comprehensive and accessible healthcare system that leaves no one behind. It focuses on preventive care, mental health support, and affordable healthcare options for all citizens. The United States of America believes that a healthy population is the cornerstone of a thriving society. The United States of America takes a leading role in championing environmental justice. The nation acknowledges the disproportionate impact of environmental degradation on marginalized communities and works tirelessly to rectify these inequalities. It implements policies that prioritize clean air and water, sustainable practices, and climate resilience, ensuring that every citizen can enjoy a safe and healthy environment. The United States of America amplifies the voices of marginalized communities, ensuring that they have a seat at the table. The nation fosters a culture of inclusivity, actively seeking input and perspectives from all segments of society. It supports grassroots initiatives, community organizations, and platforms for marginalized voices to be heard, empowering them to actively participate in shaping their own destinies. The United States of America undertakes a collective effort to heal divisions and bridge societal rifts. The nation engages in open and honest dialogue, promoting understanding, empathy, and reconciliation. Through community-building initiatives, cultural exchange programs, and restorative justice practices, the United States of America fosters unity and harmony among its diverse population. The United States of America becomes a beacon of hope and inspiration on the global stage. The nation shares its experiences, knowledge, and best practices with other countries, collaborating to address common challenges and promote equity worldwide. The United States of America recognizes that achieving equity is a shared responsibility, and it leads by example to create a more just and inclusive world. The story concludes with the United States of America standing as a shining example of a nation that has made great strides in its quest for equity. While challenges may persist, the nation remains committed to its vision of a just and equitable society. Through ongoing efforts, continuous dialogue, and unwavering determination, the United States of America strives to create a future where all its citizens can live with dignity, opportunity, and equality. In this sequel, the United States of America embarks on a transformative journey to achieve true equity for all its citizens. The nation addresses systemic injustices, empowers marginalized communities, and ensures equal access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. The United States of America leads by example, inspiring global change and fostering unity, understanding, and reconciliation within its borders. Through its unwavering commitment to equity, the nation aspires to create a just and equitable future for all. Chapter 28 Title: A Nation Reimagined. The United States of America enters a new era of governance, one rooted in the principles of collective wisdom and participatory decision-making. The nation recognizes the importance of engaging its diverse citizenry in shaping policies and creating a more inclusive society. Through town halls, citizen assemblies, and online platforms, the United States of America taps into the collective intelligence of its people to address pressing challenges and build a better future. The United States of America devolves power to local communities, empowering them to make decisions that directly impact their lives. The nation recognizes the unique needs and aspirations of different regions and fosters a sense of local autonomy. By strengthening local governance structures and providing resources and support, the United States of America ensures that communities have the power to shape their own destinies. The United States of America embraces a sustainable development agenda, seeking to balance economic growth with environmental stewardship and social well-being. The nation invests in clean technologies, renewable energy, and green infrastructure, creating a pathway towards a carbon-neutral future. By prioritizing sustainable practices, the United States of America aims to leave a positive and lasting impact on the planet. The United States of America harnesses the power of technology to drive social change and improve the lives of its citizens. The nation promotes digital literacy, expands access to high-speed internet, and supports innovation that addresses pressing societal challenges. By leveraging technology for social good, the United States of America creates opportunities for economic empowerment, education, healthcare, and civic engagement. The United States of America fosters an inclusive economy that prioritizes the well-being of all its citizens. It promotes equitable access to employment, entrepreneurship, and wealth creation opportunities. The nation invests in job training programs, small business support, and social safety nets to ensure that no one is left behind. By nurturing an inclusive economy, the United States of America aims to reduce inequalities and create a more just society. The United States of America upholds human rights as a core pillar of its governance. The nation strengthens its commitment to civil liberties, equality, and social justice. It addresses systemic discrimination, protects vulnerable populations, and works towards eliminating all forms of injustice and inequality. The United States of America strives to be a beacon of human rights, inspiring others to do the same. The United States of America engages in global cooperation to address pressing global challenges. The nation recognizes that complex issues, such as climate change, pandemics, and poverty, require collaborative solutions. The United States of America partners with other nations, international organizations, and civil society to foster dialogue, share best practices, and tackle shared challenges for the betterment of humanity. The United States of America embraces cultural exchange and understanding as crucial components of a harmonious society. The nation celebrates its rich diversity, promoting dialogue and fostering empathy across cultural, religious, and ethnic lines. By nurturing an environment that values and respects different perspectives, the United States of America builds bridges of understanding that strengthen social cohesion and unity. The United States of America places a strong emphasis on lifelong learning and innovation. The nation invests in education at all levels, providing accessible and quality learning opportunities throughout individuals' lives. It supports research and development, encourages creativity, and cultivates a culture of continuous learning and innovation. By empowering its citizens to adapt to a rapidly changing world, the United States of America remains at the forefront of progress. The story concludes with the United States of America realizing its vision of a nation reimagined. Through collective wisdom, local empowerment, sustainable development, and technological innovation, the nation has built a society that fosters inclusivity, protects human rights, and addresses global challenges. The United States of America stands as a model for effective governance, inspiring others to chart their own transformative paths towards a better future. In this sequel, the United States of America undergoes a profound transformation, reimagining its governance, economy, and social fabric. The nation embraces collective wisdom, empowers local communities, and prioritizes sustainable development and technology for social good. It nurtures an inclusive economy, upholds human rights, and engages in global cooperation. Through cultural exchange, lifelong learning, and innovation, the United States of America realizes its vision of a harmonious and forward-thinking society. Epilogue title: A World Reborn. 2 centuries have passed since the fall of the United States Empire, and the world stands as a testament to resilience, growth, and healing. Nations have come together to address global challenges, fostering cooperation and unity that transcends borders. The wounds of the past are no longer prominent, replaced by a shared commitment to building a sustainable and harmonious future for all. The world has made great strides in healing the scars inflicted upon the planet. Environmental conservation efforts, sustainable practices, and technological advancements have revitalized ecosystems, ensuring the survival of diverse species. The nations have worked collectively to combat climate change, protect biodiversity, and restore balance to the Earth's delicate systems. In the quest for social justice, nations have taken significant steps to address systemic inequalities that plagued societies. Education, healthcare, and economic opportunities are now accessible to all, regardless of nationality, race, or gender. Discrimination and prejudice have become remnants of the past, as societies embrace inclusivity, diversity, and the inherent worth of every human being. The nations of the world have recognized the power of collaboration and cooperation. Global challenges, such as pandemics, poverty, and inequality, are met with unified responses. International organizations have flourished, working diligently to ensure the well-being and prosperity of all nations. Dialogue, diplomacy, and understanding serve as the foundation for resolving conflicts and advancing shared goals. Technological advancements have transformed the world, opening up new frontiers and expanding human capabilities. Scientific discoveries, artificial intelligence, and renewable energy have propelled societies forward. Technology is harnessed to address societal needs, enhance communication, and improve the quality of life for all. Ethical considerations and responsible innovation guide technological progress. Cultural exchange and appreciation have become integral parts of society, fostering understanding and celebrating diversity. The world embraces a tapestry of traditions, languages, and customs. Through travel, artistic expression, and intercultural dialogue, people gain a deeper appreciation for the richness and complexity of humanity. Cultural heritage is preserved and shared, creating a global mosaic of interconnectedness. Peace has become the cornerstone of international relations. Disputes are resolved through dialogue, negotiation, and mediation. Nations invest in diplomacy, disarmament, and conflict prevention, ensuring that conflicts are resolved without resorting to violence. The world is united by a shared commitment to peaceful coexistence, paving the way for greater prosperity and well-being for all. Humanity has embarked on grand explorations, venturing into the depths of space and unlocking the mysteries of the universe. Scientific research, space exploration, and interstellar collaborations have expanded human knowledge and opened up new frontiers. The spirit of curiosity and exploration continues to drive humanity forward, inspiring breakthroughs and pushing the boundaries of what is possible. The United States Empire, once a dominant force, is now a distant memory. The world has moved beyond its shadow, leaving behind the scars of history. Lessons learned from the empire's rise and fall have shaped the world's trajectory, ensuring that the mistakes of the past are not repeated. The legacy of the empire serves as a reminder of the resilience of humanity and the potential for growth and transformation. The story concludes with a vision of a harmonious future. The wounds inflicted by the United States Empire have healed, and the world has united in a shared commitment to creating a sustainable, inclusive, and peaceful world. Nations collaborate, cultures thrive, and humanity embraces its interconnectedness. The world stands as a testament to the resilience and capacity for growth inherent in humanity, inspiring future generations to continue the journey towards a brighter tomorrow. In this final sequel set 200 years in the future, the world has healed from the wounds of the United States Empire. Ecological restoration, global equality, and peaceful coexistence have become the pillars of a transformed planet. Technological advancements, cultural exchange, and exploration of the unknown have propelled societies forward. The legacy of the past serves as a reminder of the transformative power of unity and resilience. The world stands as a testament to the triumph of healing, growth, and a shared commitment to a harmonious future.